Welcome to this tutorial, you guys. Today we are going to talk about EERD, which means Enhanced or Extended Entity Relationship Data Diagram. Usually it helps in entity relationship modeling, but it includes all the modeling concept of ERD. So we have seen on the previous tutorial how can we build an ERD diagram using the entities, the relationship, and also the attributes. But sometimes then we need to have some extended logics which cannot be included in ERD. Then we need to know what are the specialization possible, what are the generalization possible, categorization, and the aggregation possible. So we are going to go through each and everything, and at the end we'll be having like a real scenario and we build an extended entity relationship diagram. So usually today we are going to talk about what is ERD and how do you map subclasses, the superclasses, specialization together with generalization, and also how do we deal with some categories of what we mean by union types. Usually ERD, which is extended, it is used to model an application more completely and more accurately. It means it includes all the possible behaviors of any scenario. And here then, as we can see, we can say, okay, what is then the difference between an ERD versus an extended ERD? Usually, an extended ERD, it comes when you have some subgroups. For example, you have an employee, and the employee is having some other groups. Let me just say like this. We can have, for example, let me use a simple something which is very simple. Let me say that we are going to have something like here, which is, for example, product. And in our product, as we know, our product can have many things. So it can have, for example, this is an example. Let me say that we can have, for example, PID. We can have, let me only put the list. We can have P name, which means product name. We can have the quantity. We can have, let me say, for example, so we have also the unit price. So here you can see we can have many as possible, but then we can also have some subgroups. We can say that, okay, as long as then we have this one, let's have other subgroups. So we can say, okay, we can have the subgroup of, for example, clothes. This is an example. So we can say clothes. So we can say, okay, as long as then we have clothes, let me say that in other products we can have, for example, utensils. This is another example. So you understand that there will be some special characteristics. We can have some special characteristics on clothes which are not special for utensils. And all of these ones will be having the other description of a product in general. Usually generalization is from down to up, but specialization is from up to down. It means then we need to keep track to this thing. We'll be having like a scenario that will be talking about this. So it means then enhanced ERD will be working or will be used when we have some subgroups and they are meaningful and need to be represented explicitly. Some subgroups can be ignored, but sometimes then we have some subgroups that should be represented in our system. So for example, here we said, okay, assume that we have an employee, and that employee can be either in the department of secretary, engineer, managers, technician, salaried employee, hourly employees, or any other class. So then you understand that there is a superclass and there are some subclasses or subtypes. Then the supertype will be also what we call the super class, which means it is employee in general. And this is how we can even just summarize this. I have said that we can have an employee that can be grouped into secretary, engineer, technicians, and so on, and it will be based on the employee's job. We can also have the manager, employee who are managing others. So here we can also have, according to the payment methodology, we can have either salaried people or what we call regular people, contractual people, or visiting people, even hourly people, all salaried or commissioner. So those who are getting the commissions, this works for the consignment, where the consignee gets some commission according to the product that he or she has taken and sold. So then here, this is how everything works. Like here we have an employee, and this employee is having some other subclasses. We can have the manager. We can also have another individual specialization or special groups, which can be either secretary, technician, or engineers. As you can see, the typing speed for the secretary, we don't need the typing speed for the technician. Are we together? And we don't need the engineer type for secretaries. So it means each and every subclass is having some special attributes for it. So then, as you can see then here, so then each and every employee can be either a secretary and a technician, or a technician and an engineer. Why not? Then if then someone can belong to any of the two groups, there's no you can see that then here we can disjoint. So here we are having to special notation, which is disjoint or overlap. Usually when you say overlap, it means then you can be in many of the subclass. But when you say disjoint, so it means then you can only be in only one. For example, here it is disjoint. Why? Because you cannot be paid hourly and you be paid salaried. You can't have a salary and an hour payment. So it means you either be here or be here. But as you can see here also, there's what we call total participation. Either you can be hourly employee or salaried employee. Nowhere else you can be. It means for you to be an employee, you need to fall in any of the two. And you cannot have an employee who is not having any of these subclass. But here then we can say, okay, then each and every employee it is not mandatory that he or she will be falling into secretary team, technician team, or engineer team. We can have like security people. But here, either you are security or you are in any subclass, then you need to be either a salaried person or an award paid person. So then we can for us to understand this, we can use a typical example. I am going to show you the typical example to be used, and we are going to use this typical example in order to explain to this. So here we are having a scenario. It is a scenario that has been taken from a company, and this company of ours, we can say, okay, so here we can say that, okay, there is a company which is called ABC, and our ABC company, it prides itself to having up-to-date information on the processing and the current location of each shipped item. Usually ABC company, it is a company that ships some products to the customers. Then to do this, usually ABC relies on company-wide information system. So they are relying, or even they depend on the information system, which is a company-wide Yes, a company-wide system. And all the shipped items are the heart of ABC product tracking information system together with the employees who are shipping those items. So we need to know who is shipping the items, and also we need to know uh, which products that are being shipped. So here then we have then the employee working in shipping services should be characterized by imp ID, name, salary, date of hire, date of birth, and gender. This is the characteristics for each and every employee who is working in delivering service. And the employee can be categorized in different categories where he or she can be either salaried, you understand, and when you are salaried we need to keep track on the level of education, department, and also experience. And you can also be hourly paid, and here we need to keep track on the total worked hours. Or you can also receive commission, and here we need to keep track on the items and the rate. So there is no employee who can belong to more than one category or subcategory, and every employee should fall into a certain category. Understand? So you need to fall in any of the categories that we can have. Usually there are three, and also there's no employee who can't have any subcategory. So all the shipped item can be characterized by item number, which is unique, weight, dimension, insurance amount, destination, and final delivery date. Then the shipped item are received onto an ABC system at single retail center. Usually then also we need to keep track to the single retail center that will be characterized by their types, unique ID, and addresses. And though the shipped item make their way to their destination via one or more standards and ABC transportation events, like it can be flight, truck deliveries, or even private cabs. So these transportation then events are characterized by a unique schedule number, so that you can know, okay, what is the schedule number of each and every delivery, the type of the transportation, and also the delivery route. So then what has been given us as the requirement is the to create an enhanced entity relationship diagram that captures the information about ABC system, and we need to be certain to indicate the identifiers and cardinalities constraints. So then here, as we know, we have said before, we have said what we have said, that EERD it includes all the concept of ERD, and it adds specialization, categorization, generalization, and aggregation. So it means then we need to, the first thing that we need to do, is to first list all the possible entities. As we know, we had the steps. We need to have the entities, we put the attributes, and also lastly we just also list all the relationship possible. So after then having our things, then we can draw our ERD. So here then, I want us to be together so that we can understand then how everything works. Okay, I will be going step by step. So here, the first thing that we can see, it is that ABC is having up-to-date OK on processing current location of each shipped item. To do this, then ABC relies on company-wide OK information. Here, they are giving us the information of how ABC works, and shipped items are the heart of ABC product tracking system, and together with the employees. So then here we need to know what is that. Then here we need to know the shipped items. So here we are going to list entities. Let me write entities. So our entities, then we can have the first entity, which is shipped item, And then our shipped item, as you can see here, the shipped items are the heart of ABC tracking system, and together with the employees. So we can have also our employees. So for our employees, then we need to keep track to something. So here then, who are shipping those items? Then employees working in a shipping service should be characterized by something. Okay, with here we don't want to list all the attributes, we'll be seeing those attributes. But also here you can say, okay, here we can see that then, okay, here it is saying shipped service should be characterized by ID name. Okay, the employee can be categorized in different categories where you can be either salaried. So here then we are having what we can call like a sub for the employee. It can be salaried, and here if we are salaried we need to keep track to education department and experience. Then we can also have our repayment, and also the last subcategory but not least is commission. So then, okay, this is for the employee, but all of them they are entities because they can also have some attributes, as you can see here. So then here we need, okay, there is no employee who can belong to more one. Okay, this is for the relationship and also the behavior of our employees. So then as we can go here down, shipped item can be categorized. Shipped item, it is our class or our entity. Then okay, these are the attributes for it. Shipped items are received into ABC at single retail center, and the retail center are characterized by, so here we can also have what we call retail center. So after having our retail center, so as we can see here, all at shipped item to their destination via one or more standards. So usually here we can have the standards that we can use, or here they have called it transportation events, so are characterized by this one. So it is good that then also we use the same naming as they have said here, transportation event. And we have finished to cite down all the the entities. So then as we can see here, this scenario is very visible, and there's no need to go and invent some attributes because the attributes are there. Then we are going just to go deeply and very directly to the drawing of our entity relationship diagram, but also by including all the extensions that are possible, like these subgroupings. So then here, let me open paint. So we'll be using our paint, and here there's one thing that we are going to start with, and let me try to see if I can have like a simple thing. Okay, let me say, so here let me say that for example here we have like a full screen. Okay, like here let me say that for example we are having one entity, and here let me put another entity. No, let me put it like here, and here let me put another entity, and lastly let me put like an entity here which is not big. So here then we can have the first entity, let me call it employee. The second entity is called what? Is shipped item. We can have our shipped item, and the third, it can be, how have we called it, transportation event. And The last but not least is the one that we called what? We've called it retail center. Okay, I'm going to put all the attributes, but here then it is very difficult to know the attributes. Not difficult, but then we need also to know what are the subclasses of the employee. So here then we need to keep track to these things. So the first one that we are going to have, it is salaried people. Here we can have salaried. Here we can have hourly, and here we can have commission. So all of also these are the entities. Then here it is salaried, and here this is hourly, and here it is commissioned. But here, as you can see, then here we are having like it is a generalization altogether. And this generalization of ours, because all of these things they need to be touched with employees. So this is the first. You'll excuse me with the drawing. And here, as you can see, then we need to connect all of them to the superclass, and we need to connect all the subclasses to the superclass. Okay, we have finished then to draw that one. Then here let's just have like something. So they have said then, okay, each and every employee working in a shipping service should be characterized by imp ID. So it means then we need to keep track to the imp ID, and this is primary key. Let me say imp ID, and my imp ID, it should be primary key. So it means then I need to draw a line on it. And also here, as you can see, name, salary, DOB, okay, each and everything, then we can go there. Let's do it very quickly. So okay, I just paused to first draw this, then I'm going only to link this to the entity, because those are the attributes for our employee entity. So we've finished. Then the employee can be categorized in different categories, but here also we need to keep track to the level of education for any person who is salaried. So then it means then from here I need to keep track to what? To education. So this way then here I need to have what is the education of this salaried person, and also we need to keep track to the department and also the experience. So that means then here I need to come here and I keep track to these three things. Okay, let me say only here it is what we want, education, not education, but I can also let me say experience, but without the experience, then also I can keep track to the department where the salary person is in. Let me say dipped, and then from here I can say wow, let me join. So anyone who works for hourly, we need to keep track to what? To worked hours. So here I need to have another another attribute. So let me call it worked hours. The worked hours should be it should be joined to the hourly employees. And for the commission people, what do we need to keep tracks? Here I can have 1, 2, 3. So for the commissioned, we need to keep track to the rate and derived item. Usually we need to keep track to the rate and derived item. How many items that the user has derived? Wow. So then here you can see that then we have finished to work with the employees. But then, okay, here there is no employee who can belong, there is no employee who can belong to more than one category. Here, usually we are having two annotations, and these two annotations, the first one is overlap and the second one is disjoint. It is disjoint if everybody should fall into exactly. Usually it means that if you are in salad, you can't be award, can't be commissioned. So this is, I need to come here and write D, but D there, it is a bit difficult to write it there, but let me write it here up, but you will understand, sorry, so you will understand that here I have put D. So when we put D, it means it is disjoint, which means then you cannot join hourly or salary at the same time. But also each and every employee should fall in one of the subclass. So which means then here we'll need to have two lines. The two lines means what? The two lines means that no one can say that I don't have any subclass. So each and every one should fall into one subclass. Are we together? Yes, together we are. So then after this, there's something else that we need to keep track to. Sorry. There's also something that we need to keep track to. And this thing is the commission. Yeah, sure, we finished. Derive the item and the rate. So after this then, there is no employee who can belong to more than one subclass, and each and every one should fall in a certain subclass. We finished. Then here, then the shipped items can be characterized by unique ID, or what they have called item number, and this item number will be coming here on the shipped. I'm going to pause just because here you can see all of these things there, what I'm going to write. I'm going only to write this uh, attributes, and I will explain after. And here you can see, okay, I have finished to rewrite all these attributes. Then I need to join these attributes to the father or to the entity. I need to only to join to the entity, and I have finished. So here then we need to know that the unique or the primary key is the item number. So after having this, also we need to go to retail center. We need to go, okay, before we go to retail center, okay, the retail centers, okay, shipped items are received into a system or a single retail center, and the retail center are characterized by type. Yes, these are the characteristics of a retail center, and I'm going also to pause down back so that we can first finish with them. So usually then you can see that they are characterized by type, unique ID, and address only. So I have finished then to put this. Then let us join. We need to join to the mother or to the father, to the entity. Then after this, I need to know, okay, what is the primary key? Is the unique ID, as they have said. It is the one that is okay. It is the one that is unique. After this, then we are remaining with one and only one, which is transportation event. So I need first of all to write inside. I'm sorry, I don't know how these words have gone out of the box, but usually it needs to be in the box. I don't want to change the way we represent this, and it was transportation event. So transportation event. So on the transportation event, okay, shipped items make their way to their destination via one or more standards, which can be which are what you mean by a transportation event. And a transportation event will be characterized by unique scheduler number and also the type and the delivery route. But to understand that, then this type can be it is not we can make it as multi-valued because you can have too many values in there. Okay. Let me just draw as I okay, let me just come here. Then we have said okay, then it can be scheduler number. We can have something that we've called type, as you can read there, and we can have what we call delivery route. Let me call like delivery route, and this all of these should be linked to the father. Okay, so after this, then we know that the scheduler number should be the unique identifier. So we're finished about this. Then what are we going to do then? Usually, as you can see here, we are going to the read back. So here, as they have said here, employee, okay, this we have seen. Okay, let me read from here. There is no employee who can belong to more than one category. We finished this. Employees should fall into a certain category. Shipped item can be characterized by this one, and shipped items are received into a single retail. So it means then they are received. Shipped item they are received from. So here then we can have the relationship between this. Let me see whether I can have something to represent this. Okay, no problem. Then let me say, okay, here we can have this, and back here I have like this. Let me say like this, and then here I say that here I need to have like a relationship, and the way my relationship should be looking like, it should be looking like this. And this is my relationship, and in my relationship then really I need to have like this. Okay, then the relationship name is received from, they are received from, then they are received from that retail center. And also we know that then okay, there is no employee who works, okay, the final deliver, the shipped items are received into a system to a single retail center, and the retail centers are characterized by this one. Shipped items make their way to their destination via this standard. So it means then from the shipped items to the transportation, there is a relationship between them, which we can also call call it shipped with, or shipped in, or shipped via. It depends. So let me say that then here we want to keep track to this, and as I can see, I'm sorry, the current is not, electricity is okay. I'm sorry, I will not make it good as I wanted, but what I want then is for us to understand the logic about these things. Okay, so then you just come here. From there you just come here. You can see what I wanted is only just to show you how everything is working. So here then, the relationship between this, we can also call it like shift via or shift with. Okay, let me call it shift via. Okay, we have finished about this then. And also, who ships this item? Those are the employees. Employees ship some items. Then what makes them to be shipped is this employee. So then also on this relationship, we are also having the employee attached to it. So then this is what we are having. Let me first see then what we are having right now. So as you can see then what we are having right now is this one. And I'm sorry. Okay, this is what we are having. And as you can see, what we are having right now is, let me magnify so that everyone can be able to see. Here, let me pause back, and my view can be docked. Let me call it docked. Yes. So here we can have like the employee, and my employee is characterized by this one, but also subgrouped into that one. And let me close this. I think you are able to see, right? Then here, this is the employee, and our employee is having all of this, and they are shipping the items, and shipped items should be shipped via transportation event, and also shipped items are received from retail centers. And we have finished about all of these things. And then what are we going to do? We are going then to change. We are going to change then the way everything. I'm sorry. Yes, we are going then to change to give cardinalities to this relationship of ours between the entities. So then here we can see that here then, so the shipped items, one shipped item can be shipped via one or many transportation events, and one or many transportation events can be used to ship many items. So it means then from here we are having many to many, which are many to many. So here then I need to one all many, then my one or all many will be represented like this, and here also one all many, one all many. So again here we can say, okay, one shipped item can be received from one retail center, and one retail center can be made of many shipped items. So it means then between shipped items and retail centers, we can have here one many to one or many. But here then we'll be having the one, and we have finished about this. And here then, so as you can see, I am having all the required enhanced EERD. But here then also you need to remember that here we need to have our D, which means, let me even write using this. Here we need to have our D, which means disjoint. And here we are having total participation, which means each and every employee should be either commissioned, award, or salaried. So it means he or she needs to receive either the salary or the payment per hour or the commission according to the thing that he has done. And for this, then also we can have some what you mean by special primary key that will be joined with the general primary key to have your full primary key. So here then the intention of this thing, the intention of this was to have uh, the annotation of how we draw an enhanced EERD and what is the meaning of everything that is in. So I think then this was very good, and you have understood whatever that I wanted you to understand, and more will be talked about when we'll be having another tutorial, which is the part 2 tutorial for this chapter. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you, and I'm sorry for the noises that you have understood when I've been recording this video, but I think then my intention has been met. Thank you very much. Continue to be blessed.